Now, Mike Waltz, who was out campaigning for the president in the last couple of days, we had a chance to see him when he was here in Daytona Beach at Top Gun. He's joining us now live this morning. Congressman, good to have you with us. We understand that you'll be getting a briefing about the election interference issue from the FBI, the Director of National Intelligence, DOJ, and DHS. What kind of things are you thinking you're going to hear, sir?
Well, yeah, thanks, Mark. This is regarding the hacking and the election interference announcement from the Department of Justice over a week ago. Representative Murphy and I requested a briefing for the election to fully understand how it's impacted the election that's ongoing, but particularly in Florida. Just as a quick reminder, a number of emails, these so-called spoofing emails from the group Proud Boys, were sent out to registered Democrats, threatening them, intimidating them. Iran was behind that, and I want everyone to understand to be very, very careful before they react to any type of information that's sent to them. But clearly, the Iranians were able to hack into some information and be able to target that interference attack. And then there was some other type of interference from the Russians again. The Chinese as well is ongoing. And we just need to fully understand, and I need to continue to push for full public disclosure, Mark. I do want to give the administration credit for having that briefing and letting everybody know and giving them a warning shot. But we need to know more.
We've got some bad players out there. It's Iran, Russia, and possibly China. Are they all sending out bad information, or are they involved in this disinformation campaign?
Yeah, they're involved. They're involved at various degrees in disinformation, whether that's on social media or otherwise. But this one, what was different about this one that Iran was behind was that they used, clearly targeted information to get to certain individuals that they thought they could influence. And I want to know, and it was particularly focused on Florida. So I want to know how that happened, what we're doing about it more broadly and long term. I think there needs to be consequences, Mark. These countries need to understand that if they attack our democracy, they will pay a price. I think that's the only way we're going to get them to stop and to establish deterrence when it comes to election interference.
When you look at the national campaign, by the way, it's gloom and doom coming out of the Biden campaign right now. The president, more aggressive, positive message. But a lot of people are measuring the difference between the two candidates on the COVID issue. How are we going to deal with this as we go into the flu season? Your thoughts?
Well, I think we have to continue. I mean, there's just not a choice to go to Biden's plan to just shut down the country. That's an easy talking point, but it's just not realistic. And if you look at the increase 20 to 30% now in veteran suicide, if you look at the increase in opioid addiction, I think we're going to see longer term effects on our children for this virtual schooling. Florida is not there, fortunately, thanks to the governor, but other places are. But you contrast that with the GDP number of 33% under President Trump. So we have to just keep focusing on the most vulnerable population, on our elderly population. And the rest of the country has to figure out a way to live with this, but continue to work and continue to get our economy back until we can get the therapeutics and a vaccine in place. And it's that balanced approach that I think actually is going to carry the day.
Congressman, I wanted to get your thoughts to this. Seeing how the tourism industry has been devastated by COVID with massive layoffs at Disney, and they had more bad news. The president said we're turning the corner yesterday on COVID for the entertainment industry. But is that real? Does this not underscore, this is my question, does this not underscore the strong desire that you have had about further diversification of the economy so we're not totally dependent on tourism and agriculture to carry us?
Well, I think that's absolutely right, Mark. And even though I think domestically, if we take a balanced approach, not the Biden approach, we'll see a minor comeback in terms of tourism. But we're still going to have huge problems with the cruise ship industry. We're going to have huge problems with foreign tourists. Tens of millions, before the pandemic, were coming to Orlando and Daytona and others. That's still going to be, the international tourism is is really going to continue to take a hit. That's why, we've talked. I'm pushing two industries that I think the Daytona area really could benefit from: aerospace industries and the medical industries. When we talk about bringing manufacturing home from China, not being reliant on for our PPE or for our pharmaceuticals or anything else for that matter. One of the things I'm pushing for is not just bring it back to the United States, bring it to Central Florida, bring it to Daytona, bring it to Volusia County. So I'll continue to push.
Braun, I think, is one of the best examples of that. Their expansion, they're going to be hiring more people. That's right here in Daytona Beach. This started during the Scott administration. That's probably one of the best examples of a diversified economy, medical equipment production.
Well, no, it's a fantastic story, and the time with which that went from kind of flash to bang, using my military analogies, was incredible. It was 18 months, and that it's also a great example, Mark, of why local, state, and federal elected officials. I mean, it is one team, one effort, and that's why it's so important. I work with Tom Leake and Tom Wright, our county council, and so many others, and really stay in lockstep with them, because there's a piece of it, whether it's transportation, water, attracting new industry. There's a piece of those in every effort.
I want to publicly thank your staff, led by General Ernie Ardino, for helping us to be able to broadcast from the event the other day. Your staff is superior to work with. Thanks for your help, Congressman, in making that happen.
Well, thanks so much, Mark. I mean, it was, it's an incredible event to be campaigning with the president, with the first family. I mean, I don't know how he does it, particularly the president. His foot is on the gas. But to that other point, a lot of people focus on the major legislation. We are helping constituents every single day, whether it's Sue Bauer or Sherry Norman or my team up in Flagler and St. John's. Whether it's dealing with Veterans Affairs or immigration issues or just navigating the federal bureaucracy is tough. And that's what my caseworkers are there for. And those kind of what I call base hits, just helping individuals day in and day out, makes it worth, that kind of banging my head against the wall in Washington, D.C. sometime. But those constituent services are a critical part of the job.
Very good. Congressman, enjoy the weekend. I know you'll be busy, and we'll talk to you very soon, sir.